You're now tuned in to the Soulful Stir with Tash and Diamond Symoné.
All right, we live.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Soulful Stir. I'm Diamond Symoné.
And I'm Tash.
Well, Tash, I'm not really feeling this weather outside. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was a hard day. It feels like we're living in Alaska right now, the way that the snow is coming down in Michigan. I don't know why, as black people, like, why we living like this. It's not native to us.
It's global warming because it's happening everywhere. Like, they had an ice storm in Atlanta. They canceled school and stuff already. So it ain't just us. It's everybody.
If school is canceled tomorrow here, I wouldn't be upset about it. However, what's hot on your radar right now? What's going on? What's new the past week?
Nothing is going on. But I just have something that is weighing heavily on my heart, and I would like to express it. And as usual, I know that this is probably going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but I just have to start 2026 off before we get to Valentine's Day. And I have to just say that we don't need a photo shoot for everything. Like, I was scrolling Instagram last night, and I was just floored. Like, I really was looking at some people's Instagram, and it's like, every chance you get, you go and put on a good wig. And sometimes it's not a good wig, but, you know, you go put on a wig nonetheless. Or you go get you a new quick weave. Or you go get you some nice braids, and you want to take pictures. For what? You are, you know what I'm saying, like an assistant manager at Aeropostale. Like, why do you need so many photo shoots? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be funny. And I understand I try to support black businesses. I got to, one or two, like I like to call resident, staffed photographers. But, I used to be taking like family photos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking photos for my real estate business, things of that nature. But I just be feeling like sometimes we got to stop with the photo shoots. Like, we be wanting so much attention, especially in the age of like social media. We want to post so many pictures online to show that we official, that we spending so much money on the photo shoots that we, you know what I'm saying? Like, why go get a $300 photo shoot when you got one product to sell? Give me more than one product, boo. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're so busy, and I get it. Promotion and stuff is necessary, but I think we put so much focus on being seen that a lot of these businesses, and I'm not going to say black businesses, I'm just going to say businesses in general, especially in this era of entrepreneurship, we put so much emphasis on the being seen that we don't put enough work on the customer service, the learning the business, markups and markdowns, and actually learning your cost value of your product and service and things of that nature, because you will put $300-$400 into a photo shoot, but then, you know what I'm saying, you can't afford adequate shipping, packaging for your customer stuff. You send it to your customers, and they package the stuff falling out the package when they get in the mailbox. Like, y'all, we got to stop with the photo shoots and actually go back to the basics and do the work first. Like, let's stop trying to be, and I feel like that's just trying to be seen. It's like, we take photo shoots, and I be looking at people's stuff, and I be like, what you need all these classy pictures for? Like, you work at Ford, you know what I'm saying? You work on the line. Like, I'm not being saying don't take no pictures for your birthday or for Christmas, but like, it be just a Tuesday. Y'all go and spend $400 on hair and makeup, $200 on 3 or 4 outfits, and take these pictures just to post online for you to go back and work a double shift at Chrysler. It is insane.
So I think it's a multitude of things happening, right? Like, I agree. So I agree with everything that you just said, but you just made me think of a couple of things. The fact that there is a miseducation of people that have businesses, of knowing like truly what it takes to run a business, and learning about customer retention, customer acquisition, like really building a business from the ground up. And it's not all, I think that you do need a presence on social media, I'll say that, but it's not all based on that, right? And like you said, the first thing that people do want to do is be seen, is let people know, like, I'm the CEO, I'm the this, I'm the that. Okay, well,
Hands,
what
arms folded, legs crossed, baby, red bottom kicked up. Oh, they doing the thing.
But like, what work are you putting into your business truly? Because there are a lot of businesses that are highly successful that do not have social media presence. Or if they do, it's minimal, and you would assume by their social media that, oh, they're not really doing it, like they say they are. That's not entirely true. That is not entirely true. I know several businesses, hell, including my own. I'm not as like prevalent on social media with posting, but it's because I'm so knee deep in the work and doing all the things to continue to build my business that I fall short on the social media part, honestly, because it's like, shit, by the time I get around to that, I'm tired.
And that's the point I try to make when I tell people, like, I've recently been having a debate with my cousins because they all trying to get fit and all this other stuff, and they like, oh, I want to go to the gym with you. Everybody know my gym presence is heavy, but I tell them all the time, I tell them to their face, I be like, y'all play too much. I'm not going to the gym with y'all because y'all want to record and make content. And I said on my personal platform, on this show, I've said it several times, I don't agree with people recording gym content because, for one, go in the gym and lose your weight. Go in the gym, get your mind right. I didn't go in the gym because I've always been fit and active. Let me say that. But my heaviness in the gym right now was not because I had body goals. It was because I was grieving. I was losing people every few months that I love dearly, and I needed a way to circumvent that. I don't want to record that process. I don't want everything is not content. And that's the thing, is like, everybody wants to be seen, that we forgetting on the back end is so much other work, or you put so much on the front side to be seen. When people start calculating your steps and calling you out on your missteps, you don't like it, but you've put that in our hands. And it's so crazy that we're just in this time and that era of that. But like I said, it's their businesses, it's people putting all this stuff out, and I'm like, what's the name of your business? I seen 17 pictures of you. I don't even know what you're selling. I don't know what the product is. I don't know what the focus is. When I first started doing photo shoots for my business, I was barely in them. I was literally asking my friends who use the product, like, can y'all come to this shoot, and can I use your head and your hair so I can put this oil in it on this video? I don't even want my face to be seen. Like, I was wearing shirts with my logo on it so you could catch me from the neck down applying the product to somebody. You ain't even got to see my face because the product worked. Like, I don't have to be this person attached to it. And I think that's a lot of my personality in general, but I see it so much, and it's like, you want to be seen, but what are you putting into this? What are we putting into this process? Like, what are we doing here? And we see it all the time. Like, back to that point about even like the content creators, people will go viral off some clips, and then it'll be like, after that, it's like a crash and burn because they don't know how to retain that audience once they get them. You know what I'm saying? But some of the best hairstylists, nail techs, brow tech service providers I've ever had, they don't have no big social media following. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best people, because they putting their time and effort into the work.
My nail lady that I've been going to for a long time, and shout out to Lee. Lee is super cool. When I first met her, I was like, on social media? She was like, no, I'm not really on social media. And Lee is cold. She's one of the coldest in the game. I stand on that. And she's just not on social media like that. She'll post here and there, but she's really good about customer retention. And even like her pricing is way better than a lot of people. Like, for the work that you get, you wouldn't expect.
Absolutely.
But she's really big about customer service and customer retention. And these are the points that are missed. I give us a little bit more grace in the Black community because I feel like we automatically roll into a lot of shit at a disadvantage, including business ownership, right? Like, Absolutely. We know that we don't have all the tools, the bells and whistles, and that's why a lot of the times small businesses in general, I'm more patient with them because I understand that you're learning the game from the ground up. If you committed to it, and every time when I come back or when I send people, it gets better and better. All right, cool, I could roll with that. But I think it's just a lack of education all the way around, and also a misunderstanding of how much things should cost to build a business. People go into it like, oh yeah, I do think there's a lot of ego that is fueled into that, right? When we talk about wanting to be seen, wanting people to know that you're the CEO, you're the head of this business, you're this, you're that. That's cool. I guess, if that's how we want to roll about it. But I think that the other part of it is just a misunderstanding of how much things really cost to start a business. Or maybe some people feel like I gotta spend $300-$400 if I want the product to be right. And for some stuff you do have to spend a little bit of money, but I feel like out the gate, and this just all comes with the understanding of business and how to build your business, how to slow roll it. You don't necessarily have to spend that amount of money, especially if you don't have it like that to start. You just start where you at. You don't need to take pictures every month to do anything really to sell anything. No, that's not really what you should be doing.
Well, in my humble opinion. Well, the last thing I want to talk about before we go further into the episode was let's be also mindful of the greed that comes with ownership and entrepreneurship, because there's a lot of I will say this. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say in the black community, but the caveat and the reason why I can say in the black community is because I don't go outside the black community for service providers. Okay. Let's start there. So my only experience with this is going to be in the black community because my wax girl is black. My nail tech is black. My hairstylist is black. Everybody that I go to is black. My OBGYN, everybody except for my primary care physician, my dentist is black. Everybody. Okay. So when I say I spend black ass dollars, I spend black ass dollars. And I can say this. I absolutely hate the over extension of themselves in a way that you overbook these appointments that you know you can't take. Don't get me in this shop telling me that my appointment's at 4:00 and you don't start on me to 4:45 because you tried to fit 2 other people in between because you are money hungry. I don't like that. I don't like that because it's inconsiderate to your client. And that's in any service. I wouldn't want my attorney to do it to me. I wouldn't want anybody that I'm paying for their time to shortchange my experience because they were trying to rush and be greedy. But to that point about attorneys, if I could give y'all a piece of advice just going forward, if you hear this and you are in the process of starting a business, especially now in the days of us using catchy phrases and slogans, and getting hashtags and things popping on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, and trying to use them to fuel your business. There are people out here that are messy. I've seen it with my own eyes several times. There are people out here that are petty. There are people out here who simply don't want to see you win. If you want to go spend $500 on something when you start your business and you have faith that you have a good business, don't go take no damn pictures. Go get a trademark.
Yeah.
Trademark the name of your business. Go do the legal things to have ownership of said business before you get out here and start being present with it. Before you get out here and start posting these $1,000 photo shoots, getting all these business cards, making all these social media profiles. Protect yourself and your future and your assets. If you know you got something big that you gonna stick with, go trademark your name. Trademark your logo. Trademark whatever statement or like catchphrase you're gonna use. These are the things that you need to be spending your money on. Adequately register your business with the state. Get the proper EIN numbers, do all of that stuff, because not only can somebody come behind you and realize that you have some traction with a name or with the catchphrase, and they go take it right from up under you and trademark it, because there's no way to prove who had it first. It's based on who went and filed them documents first. So if somebody goes and takes your name from you, then you're stuck. You got all of these pictures, all of this merch, all of these cards, advertisement equipment, all of this stuff that you can't do anything with because somebody took your name. And so let's be very honest. And that's why, once again, I try to do the work that I do legally and try to educate those around me, because once again, as black people, like we just said, we do have a disadvantage when it comes to entrepreneurship. We do have a disadvantage when it comes to stuff. We don't think about those types of things on a regular basis, especially because social media is not talking about those. We're seeing the pictures, we're seeing the PayPal receipts of how much money they made this month. We seeing everything but the legal stuff, and the law is where this stuff actually matters. So do your due diligence to protect yourself and your business, because your girl that I can't stand. What's her name? Peaches. She going through that right now. So,
Who's Peaches?
The girl Peach McIntyre from TikTok, the ghetto girl that got and Peaches. She got 9 kids and a husband or whatever her little catchphrase is. But long story short, she's very problematic and no space for even giving her time on this show. But apparently she had beef with some girl in Florida, and her government name is not actually Peaches McIntyre. It's something else. But she goes by Peach McIntyre, and that she called herself like the supporters of Peach Patch. Well, somebody has went and filed a trademark for that name, that she's notorious for being nasty and disgusting, really disgraceful and disgusting with people online, and somebody that she was nasty to online went and trademarked her name.
Wow.
So at this point, once the trademark application goes through, she would have to cease all operations on TikTok under that name. So once again, before you get online running your mouth trying to shit on people because you got these many followers and you done made this much money, make sure you go and you trademark your name. You protect yourself and whatever you think is going to become an asset to you, because if not, you will come across the wrong person.
Is that a costly task to do?
No, you can do the process yourself if you're a diligent person. I know several people have filed their own trademarks without my help, without the help of other attorneys. If you're an educated person, you can read and follow directions, like really read and comprehend. You can do it yourself. It's just a long process. There are fees associated with it that you have to pay, or you can pay an attorney $1,000, $2,000 flat fee, and they'll do the application for you, and that'll encompass your filing fees and all of that other stuff too. But yeah, that's a real thing. Like, somebody will come and take your stuff if you ain't prepared. So while you out here researching entrepreneurship, making them chocolate covered strawberries treats by Tanya, you better make sure you go get it trademarked.
Yeah, that's a good way to open the show. Well,
because people, I'm not gonna be funny, but people like me, we play dirty. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm a dirty person, but if somebody were truly doing something to me and being vindictive to me, that's what I would do.
Yeah, other ways to get even.
Yeah, it's other ways to get even, and guess what?
Other
I would
ways
do?
to even the score.
And I would just stop you from making money. That's all I'm doing. I'm not harming you or your child. I'm not physically doing anything illegal. I filed a trademark.
Yeah.
I can't go to jail for that.
You filed a trademark that hadn't been filed.
Yes, I filed a trademark that have not been filed. That's your livelihood. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to stop you from eating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to get you. And so I say that to say, y'all better just cover yourself. CYA, like we always say at work, cover your ass, do your homework, quit paying for all these pictures, because it ain't necessary.
Yeah, that's a word. Well, I would say, switching gears, just to share briefly what I've been up to. I've literally just been making time to catch up on rest and truly being okay with that. And I say this all the time, Tash and I both have very busy lives, and we're always doing something. The last week or so, last couple weeks, I've been really intentional about rest. So yes, I have still been getting things done, but if I got a pocket where I can take a little nappy nap, I'm going to go ahead and get that in, because I need it. And I realize that with big transitions come big shifts in our nervous system, and we have to be mindful of that. And me being mindful of that is practicing rest, intentional rest. And I also shared that I went to another wine tasting, which was cool. What was different about this wine tasting this time around, I really didn't drink all of the wine because I had just gotten a chiropractic alignment earlier in the day. And you're not technically, well, you can drink, but they advise against it because drinking causes inflammation. And the chiropractic therapy is designed to do the opposite, right? To decrease inflammation. So the last thing that you want to do is drink after having an alignment done. You really should just be drinking water and resting. And boy, did I feel it after the fact. Like later into the evening, my body started feeling really sore. I started feeling like, yeah, I definitely got an alignment. So what I did was simply take a small little squeak, tiny little squeak of each wine and splash it around and say, I like that. And then I pour the rest into my dumping cup that they give you at the tasting. So I was still able to taste some wines that I enjoyed. I ended up buying a bottle of one that I really liked. I can't remember what the theme of the class was, but it was real cool. Like I have no notes. So yeah, that was a good time, a restful time still, where I was able to just do something that I enjoy doing rather, and not think too much about it. And believe me, I went to sleep after that as well. So I was happy about that. Another thing that I've been doing is returning to reading, like truly, and being intentional about that. I'm also thinking about revamping the structure of my current book club because I want to make it a little less structured in terms of how we're going about it currently. This was a thought of mine this morning, so I'm still working on it, but I just been sitting and reading, and I have my little reading light that, I can read in the dark if I want to, with the lights off, TV off. And it's been real restful for me. Like it's really serving and soothing my nervous system. So I'm glad about that. Now, speaking of rest, I do want to jump into mind, body, and balance real quick because I saw this fact about the human body and I thought it was interesting because it explains a lot of things. So it said that the brain is sometimes more active when we're asleep than when we are awake.
Yes, I totally agree. I've always thought that.
And that's
because your subconscious gets to freely move without you, like you're forcing thoughts and things into your brain when you're awake. It's like that active state, and you need to get to a state of subconscious unconsciousness. Yeah, and then that's when it does the most repair and everything of that nature. That's why I listen to subliminal meditations while I'm sleeping.
That makes a lot of sense, but it also makes sense as to why sometimes I'll dream about Luther Vandross. Or like I just be like on a flying saucer, like a surfboard, but like a saucer. And like maybe there's an alligator like run like a
My
giant.
My cousin just told me that she had a dream that Fabulous proposed to her, and I was like, "Have you been listening to their podcast?" She was like, "No," but it made me go listen to it, and I was like, "That's so random."
Yeah, like things like that happen to me also, and it's just mad interesting. So I read it and I was like, that makes a lot of sense because that would explain to me a lot of different things. But also I was thinking about, because of course my mind goes into like the why that occurs. Why are our brains more active when we are asleep versus when we're awake? And I thought about the fact that I think, well, I know as humans, the majority of us are really good at compartmentalizing. And then our bodies and our minds are so brilliant that it identifies different systems, right? Just like when we hop in the car and you go like on your normal everyday drive to and from work, it's like you're on autopilot all day. So you really don't have to do too much thinking. But the way that you just described it, it's allowing.
But that's when I do my best thinking. So I don't know if me and you ever talked about.
You're unlocking another side of your brain. It's how you described it.
That, because I don't know if I ever told you. And it's crazy because I was talking to somebody about it the other day, and they was like, "You really do that?" So I do this thing called robotic affirming. And essentially, it's just like, you know how people believe that when you get up in the morning, like first thing in the morning or last thing at night, what you put in your brain is what you're programming your mind to focus on and think of. That's just like, people wake up, and like people that write self-help books like, oh, get up and do your mirror work. Tell yourself something in the mirror first thing in the morning, because your brain hasn't fully woken up for you to control it. It's still in its own control. So once you start telling it stuff, it actually opens and takes that in. That's why I say like the last thing you think about at night is usually what you dream about, or the first thing on your mind in the morning, is because that's what it locked in. It's like the last thought. So robotic affirming is essentially you just continuously telling yourself something over and over again on a repetitive cycle until it actually happens. It's like you're telling your brain what you should be witnessing or experiencing on the outside. It's just like a manifestation technique. So like, for example, I used it one day, and it's funny. So, when my nephew passed, we were all in Atlanta. And I was at the house, at my sister's house, and somebody called and was like, I need you to go pick up somebody else, one of our other family members from the airport. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, that was my first thought, because the whole family would be like, no. So
Immediately,
but she said, I'm going to call you back in 10 minutes to let you know if you got to go pick him up. And I was like, okay. The entire 10 minutes that I sat there, I literally I was washing dishes and helping, like, doing stuff around my sister's house, but I kept repeating in my mind, like, not audibly, but I kept saying, I'm not going to have to go pick him up. I'm not going to have to go pick him up. He going to find a ride. He going to find a ride. He going to find a ride. And within, like, 5 minutes, I got a call, and he was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. He going to get his own ride to the house.
See?
But it's during those times when you think you're on autopilot. You know what I'm saying? It's when your brain is working the best. Is why when it is on autopilot, you're supposed to tell it what you want, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that actually makes sense. And I've heard of robotic affirming. That's what you called it, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm like, did I make that up?
No, you're just repeating. You're just repeating. You're just
affirming.
affirming the same thing over and over robotically. Like,
yeah, no, I've heard of that, but I just haven't practiced it myself. And I know, like, at some point I did mention wanting to get back into my early morning routine. At one point, I was doing this routine with a group of individuals that was on the same playing field, and it's helpful when you have a group of people that are doing it with you to hold you accountable. But I will wake up really early. I think I was getting up at like 4:30 or something every single day, and what that did was force me to go to sleep early, as I should have been in the first place. And also being intentional about not going to sleep as soon as I got home from work, because I had other things that I could have been doing and I needed to get done, and I needed to make sure that I ate dinner, et cetera, before 10 o'clock. Like 10 was like my max of when I should be in the bed and winding down, right? Because I had to get up at 4:30. But every day I would get up and I would hop on Zoom with this group, and we would have these really intentional conversations. By then I've already done my morning journaling. I've prayed. Shortly after that, I would get a good stretch in or get a workout in, and then I would start my day. And I feel like it was such a healthy way of living. And I honestly feel like I manifested a lot during that time period, and was just really intentional about what I was eating, what I was consuming on a regular basis. And also the fact that I had stopped sleeping with the TV on during that time frame, just to see how my body would react. And my body reacts very well to the TV not being on, when I feel like I get a full night's rest when the TV is not on. Yeah. And I can really get into a deep rest. And we talked about electronics and all that, like having our phones in our rooms on an earlier episode, but it's really true. So I'm really trying to get back to that. I think that when I'm in these periods of heavy transition, where there's big things happening all at once, so many different things happening at once, I do get a little overwhelmed with my personal routine, where I'm like, okay, I need to have a day to sit down and really comb through everything with a fine-tooth comb, to say, this is what's working, this is what's not working, this is what you have to stop, this is what you absolutely have to get into or get back to. So I think I'm at that point now. I think you have something for sound check. Do you want to do sound check or rhythm and groove first?
Oh no, I don't have anything for sound check. My rhythm and groove is mixed with counsel and confessions.
Okay, so look, since we got the rhythm and groove mixed with counsel and confessions, let's jump into sound check, because I do have something for sound check. And I know that you are not a fan of this artist, but she just dropped a record on Friday, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Ari Lennox. So Ari Lennox just dropped her latest album. It's called Vacancy, and I was a little skeptical of what this album was going to sound like, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm so glad that I hopped on Threads earlier in the week, and someone posted that it was a post essentially saying that they were a fan of Ari Lennox and not so much of a fan of her new music. And I'm like, dang. I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one.
Yeah, after what was that first?
Shea Butter Baby?
Shea Butter Baby, yeah, whatever. After that, her second album, I like some of the songs from it. But let me tell you this. I think I've said it before, but sometimes, yeah, I talked about it a lot where I say that I loved, you know, the idea of celebrity and fame a lot more before social media. And I think Ari Lennox starting to just run her mouth and just be this complaining, I don't even know how to describe it. It became too much, and it made me not like her music. And then this last thing with this whole, I feel like Martin was colorist. Like, girl, please miss me with that. Like, like that whole Martin take she had, we was like, girl, did you actually watch the show? Like, once you start doing stuff like that, I can't, you took away, I can't listen to your music now without thinking about the stuff that you say.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for me, I kind of tuned all of that out. I honestly forgot about that. We had a conversation about that specifically on the pod. I do remember now. But with Ari, like, I really just listened to her music because in the beginning of her career, before people really knew who she was, before she was really getting traction, I was there, okay? I was in there listening, shooting in the gym, okay? Listening to Pho back to back to back, you know, her earlier music and records that she had. And I love Shea Butter Baby. That whole album, just put it on play and I can just listen to the whole thing from top to bottom.
I don't care if I've been living somewhere for 10 years, if I just bought a mansion. I don't care if I'm homeless, baby. Apartment,
yeah,
baby, listen.
Apartment will take you there.
Because I did just get a new apartment, okay? And I'm going to walk around this bitch naked. Ain't nobody going to tell me shit.
Nothing.
Okay?
Not
when she said that one line right there was it. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything from the highs and the lows. She like, I got this from Dollar Tree. I got this. I ain't got no groceries. I got this. But this is my place. I'm going to do what I want to do. That was like the freedom anthem of our generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put that on the same level as my other song, you know, Diana Ross. It's my house and I live here.
It's giving that. It's giving that for sure.
Because as a black woman, ain't nothing like having your own space of freedom to be you. You know what I'm saying? Free. I've been living in a house with my kid before. I done lived in my house with my kid and his daddy. I done lived in a whole lot of different situations, but it ain't nothing. And I love all these people. I miss all these people, but it ain't nothing like having your own space.
And you know, one thing
to just thrive.
Yes, and one thing she said in that song that is just so powerful and rings true to every season and every aspect of my life is get the fuck on.
Yes,
if you
got
if you got something to say, get the fuck on.
Listen.
Get the fuck out if you got something to say, because this is my place. Okay,
absolutely.
This is my space.
That whole album was great, but that was really the song that did it for me. Like,
yeah. So, and it's what I think is interesting about Ari and the way that she goes about her writing, her lyricism. She says these things that everybody else is thinking. I feel like she has certain songs that hit pivotal moments in my life where I can think of very specific instances where the music is reflective of my life experience at that point in time. New Apartment is one of those. And like you said, I feel like you could play it at any point in your life and still feel like, yeah, I feel this through and through. But also she has a way of getting these messages across with this beautiful sultry voice, like singing the lyrics also, that just seems together so well. So I will say I did take a listen to Vacancy. I actually really enjoyed the project. There are a few songs on there that I don't really care for, and it's actually her the singles, like, from the album. I feel like there are other songs on here that could have been pretty good singles, like, for this album, but from top to bottom I think it's a pretty solid project, and I've listened to it multiple times so far. She has Buju Banton on this album also. And that was a great addition to this album. There are quite a few songs on here that I really like. Even just hearing the first track, Mobbin' in DC, when I heard those French horns come in, I said, okay, we're getting the Shea Butter Baby adjacent experience on this album. I can see her slowly, returning to that sound of what we got for Shea Butter Baby on this album. It is different from ASL. It's different from I think it's different from the song Pressure, like what we got from ASL. The sound is just different overall. It's more leaning towards that Shea Butter Baby sound. So if you got some time, and she just dropped it on vinyl. I think it dropped on vinyl on Saturday. So if you got some time to give it a spin, go ahead and listen to Vacancy by Ari Lennox. It is a solid project. And honestly, I get what you're saying, Tash, but like Ari just really can't do no wrong to me. Like it's hard for me. It's hard for me to hate her. It is. I love me some Ari Lennox. It's just really cool to see how she's consistently reframing herself as an artist and trying new sounds, right? Trying new sounds with production, even with her bringing in more of a reggae sound on Company with Buju Banton. I think that's a nice navigation for her. So I'm gonna see what this does. I low-key want to go to the concert when she released tickets for it. We'll see what everything looks like and how it lines up with my schedule, but yeah, that's my take on Vacancy, y'all. I really like the project. Let's jump on over to the Delicious Dive. We'll save Rhythm and Groove for next.
This is so funny how life humbles you for forever. And I still say this. I'm not going to change my stance. I do not like cruising. Do I take like 1 or 2 cruises a year? Absolutely.
I thought you liked it.
Absolutely hate cruising. Anybody that knows me tell you I hate cruising. I get extremely seasick. I don't like all the people in one area. I get overstimulated really fast. But I love traveling with my family and I like to just get away. So with that being said, I will take a cruise if it's a good deal and it's worth it. I mean, because by the time I spend the money on going on a cruise, I will spend that sitting here in town for the same amount of days, if not more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just think about it like it's something to do. But I say all of that to say, I, in my last few cruises, because I've been on a few recently, I have come to love, Carnival Cruise has a thing called Bagels at Sea. And when I tell you, on my firstborn, I think about this stuff every single day that I wake up. Okay?
Was it that good?
It was beyond good. And I'm not even a bread eater. Like, I don't buy bread for my house. Like, I take 1/2 of the bun off if I order a burger from somewhere. Like, I do not like bread. And I was getting 2 of these bagel sandwiches every morning. I'm not a sweets eater either, but there's this bagel. The actual favorite one is like they call it the rainbow. It's a Superman bagel, literally blue, red, yellow. But they put strawberry cream cheese on it, some whipped cream, some sprinkles, cut up strawberries, and a maple bourbon cream as a drizzle on top. Ooh! When I tell you. Whoa. That was like the dessert. So every morning, on a cruise ship, everything, well, not everything, but most cuisines are free. And that was one of the free ones. So every morning, you know me, I keep my same schedule on vacation that I do at home unless I'm like, especially when I'm on a cruise. So my cousins know that every morning I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock on the boat. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to come back to the room, take a shower. Bagels at Sea open at 7. I was taking a shower, getting dressed, going back upstairs to Bagels at Sea, grabbing bagels. I would literally come to my room every morning with 4 bagels, 2 for me and 2 from one of my cousins. Because the rule is, if you in my room, I'll go get food for you. If you in another room, you on your own, because I'm going back to my room, okay? But every morning we was getting that rainbow bagel and then the lox bagel. You could get like everything, Asiago cheese or a plain bagel, but I was getting the lox bagel. So cream cheese, smoked salmon, avocado, capers, and some arugula. Because I definitely told them, hold them red onions. If you know anything about lox, it do come with red onions, and that is not my thing. So I would tell them to hold them onions, but I would get up, I would eat that bagel for breakfast, the lox bagel, and then my breakfast dessert was the rainbow bagel. And every single morning had to have it like clockwork. And breakfast I say all of that to say I just got a stupid good deal on a cruise. First week in March, me and my mama going on a cruise. Booked it. We got free drinks the whole cruise. We ain't have to pay for them. Ain't no drink package. Because I've been cruising a lot. So I've been getting some legacy deals or whatever. Literally cheap cruise, free drinks, all kind of stuff we got.
Y'all going on the Jubilee?
No, we ain't going on the Jubilee. We going on the Paradise, I think it's called. But what I'm upset about is apparently, so I say this, I need a favor from y'all. If you listening, I need where 2 or 3 are gathered together, standing in the midst. I need y'all to pray with me, and I pray on my downfall. So the issue that I'm having, this is my dilemma. Bagels at Sea were on certain boats. Most of those boats were going out of LA. My last cruise was out of LA in December. This cruise is out of Tampa. It's not one of the boats that it's listed on. So they say that Bagels at Sea is not on the boat that I'm going on in March. But Carnival did say by early 2026, they were going to have Bagels at Sea installation on all the boats. It was going to become a staple on the boats like Guy's Burgers. So, you know, in my legal mind, when you say beginning of the year, that means like, you know, January, February, March. So I'm going to hope that by the time I get to Tampa in March to get on this boat, that they got some bagels. Because if it ain't no bagels on that boat, I'm a clown. Okay?
Well, I hope that you don't have to take it that far. And I hope that you don't end up in a cruise jail.
Because I literally only want to cruise on the boat with Bagels at Sea now. And it's so odd. Which is weird because I will say I'm not a bread eater again, but everybody do know I do love a good bagel because Dunkin' Donuts stuffed mini bagels get me every time. So I don't know. I think it's just
I love a good bagel.
Yeah, but those bagels. So I'm telling y'all, if you get ready to go on a Carnival cruise,
I want that rainbow bagel.
If you get ready to go on a Carnival cruise, you better see if they got Bagels at Sea.
You got a freezer in your room?
No, they don't have no refrigerator or freezer in the on the boat.
So I was gonna say, put me some in there with the works. And freeze them.
And I didn't think it was going to be good. So I literally only got it. I brought it back to the room because it was free. I was like, well, let me just try it. You know, like it might be good. Man, I got it. And after that morning, I said, oh, I will be back every single morning. And I did. Like I was going up there bringing back bagels because they were delicious. Like delicious.
That sounds really, really good, honestly. I love that for you. I too love a good bagel. And I like it different ways too. Everything bagel, lightly toasted with a little cream cheese. Don't mess around, throw an egg on there. Or, you know, some avocado. That would be really good right now, honestly. A fried egg.
Never had
It's just so many ways that you can have a bagel. Who thought of it? But I'm interested in a couple of things. I'm interested in that bagel, that rainbow bagel, that Superman bagel you're talking about. But I'm also interested in going on a cruise because I've never been. But I also have this, I really want to go on a cruise, but I also have this fear of large bodies of water. And so that's a thing for me where I'm like, what I'm going to do?
I will say this. Depending on how you are as a cruiser, you don't necessarily have to deal with the water part. Like, and I know that's weird for me to say because people are like, you on a cruise, how you don't have to deal with the water? Well, because you can always get an interior or ocean view room so you don't have to have a balcony. And you don't, outside of going through the Lido deck, you know, to get food and stuff, you don't have to really be out on a deck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, like muster stations can be inside, all the other stuff. I've literally been on a cruise and not been outside because it was cold or something. You know what I'm saying? Like literally just walking through. It's so much to do on the interior that doesn't require you to be on a dock or on the side. You can literally spend your whole inside. Like I know older people who be on cruises who never go outside to a deck. Like they might go outside to grab a burger or something where if it's food out there particularly, but older people, they stay inside the casino, they go to them shows, they stay in their room. Like they don't go by the water.
So here's the thing. I get all of that. That sounds like a dream. Just being on a cruise ship. I just want to see what's inside of it. I've never been on one at all. However, I would want to go on a deck and I do want a balcony room so I can sit like and see the sereneness of the ocean. I've been on boats, you know, this looks really good. I'm looking at this.
I'm showing her a picture of the rainbow bagel.
Yeah, this rainbow bagel. Yeah, it looks like something that I absolutely want a piece of.
It's so
Absolutely
good.
want that. But yeah, I definitely will want to be on the deck. I will want to be on the balcony. And I've been on smaller boats, you know, being in Jamaica, when I went to St. Lucia. Almost every island I've been on, being in Miami, just in the water, right, on a smaller boat. So I should be okay, like on a larger ship where they say that you really can't tell that you're cruising once you get on there. I just don't know what it is. Like,
Well, I don't know who said
it's
you
the water
can't tell you
itself.
cruising, because I sure can. Like, I get really bad motion sickness, though, so I'm going to say that. Like, I can feel anything on a
Yeah.
boat. Like, as soon as we move, I can feel it. But I
Yeah.
also have really bad vertigo, too, so let's start there.
Oh, yeah,
I had
that
it really
will do
bad.
it.
It got really bad while I was pregnant, but I've always had it. Like, when I was younger, I used to, like, fall out the shower and stuff. Like, literally be in the shower and just get dizzy and fall out of it while I'm
Oh my
mid-shower, showering, yes.
That's so scary. I wonder if I have vertigo. Sometimes I feel like that too. I felt it. Actually, I felt it after I had that chiropractic session, the last one I had, and it's been a few months because my schedule's been so hectic. I haven't been able to get in, and I absolutely felt it. Like at one point, I thought that I was falling in the wine store.
Oh, yeah.
Like I had my basket in one hand, and really what happened, the wine in the basket just like shifted. And so I thought that I was falling, but it was just the weight of the basket. So that was like shifting at the time. That's wild. Like having vertigo is a wild experience. I don't know if I have vertigo, but I can imagine that having that is a wild ass experience, because that 2.5 seconds I thought I was falling, very, very weird. Very interesting at the same damn time. Like, what is going on? So yeah. Well, I'm glad that you had this experience. If there's any way, once you go on that cruise and they have those bagels, I pray that they do have those bagels, because I am going to submit a challenge for you to find a way to bring me that bagel.
You sound like my cousin. She didn't
Off
get to
of the
go
cruise
on our
ship.
last. She didn't get to go on our last cruise, and she was like, "Can somebody bring me back a guy's burger? Did anybody take a Ziploc bag? Somebody just put it in there and bring it home." I'm like, "Girl, we can't bring no
Yeah,
burger." And I
just-
was like, "Do you know I will eat it at the airport?"
Get you a friend who works in the kitchen that can freeze it, you know, or something's got to happen. So yeah, sliding on over to rhythm and groove, which is also our confession for today. You got something juicy for us, Tash?
Yes. So I saw this on Instagram. I think it was probably Instagram. Maybe, I don't think it was TikTok. I haven't been on TikTok in a while. But I just, what would you do? Maybe that's the question. So there's a girl on Instagram, and she's talking about how essentially I think the story time started off that she was on her way to court she was on her way to meet her child's stepmother. I'm assuming you could say stepmother, and the reason why I can't say assume, because I'm about to get into those details now. Like, the reason why I say assume, because I don't really know what you call it in this situation. I mean, it's a typical situation, but I don't know really what you call it. But so there's a girl. She says that I guess she was fooling around with a guy, and she became with child. she got pregnant, and I guess he was engaged to somebody else, or in the process of getting engaged to somebody else. Long story short, she was the side chick. You know, the original poster, the OP, was the side chick, and she got pregnant by this guy. Well, for whatever reason, her and the guy, he was honest with her and was like, you know, I got X, Y, Z going on at home. And she was, you know, I use this term lightly, and I use it very loosely, but she was gracious enough to tell him that, hey, well, you ain't got to pay me child support, or let's figure out a way to pay child support that your fiance or future wife, or whatever you want to call her, she doesn't know about this kid. So she's helping him hide her child from the dad's actual partner. And what she decided to do was, he lied to his partner, I'm assuming it's his wife now by this time, because the son that she's talking about in question, he appears to be maybe 2 or 3 years old in the video. So for all of this time, since the baby's birth, he's been paying her child support, but he's been telling his partner that he's paying for dog training. He said that he was paying for like a prize, like a fighter dog or whatnot, and for it to be trained for like racing and, you know, competitions and things of that nature. And
Oh, the lies that people come up with.
and apparently all this time the partner believed it. And what sparked the story time is that she decides after some time that she wants to go check this whole dog thing out. And she asks him for some, I guess she, you know, searches because the baby mama, the side chick, the OP, the original poster, she actually does do dog training. Like, that's her job, her career. So I'm assuming he's paying her business, like her side business, through a credit card or something of that nature. So the girlfriend, the partner, looks it up. She's like, oh, well, if this is where my dog is being trained, I want to go and see
the dog.
Well, she goes to see it, but the first thing she sees is the little boy. The little boy looks exactly like his siblings that she had with the dad. Same eyes, same everything. Apparently, this dad has some kind of distinct features, and all of his children have it. So she looks this little boy in the eye, and they say instantly she just was like, we need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
For one.
So how did that, she didn't say how the conversation went?
Well, it was multiple levels of story time where she was like, she was going to come back and tell us how the conversation went. She hadn't quite had the conversation yet. This was on the crux of the baby mom, the partner just finding out, you know, pretty much walked in and seen this kid. Now, to answer your questions, no, this is not a melanated person, because y'all know we would have been trying to get to the bottom of that a long time ago.
Would have towed that dog training facility up.
That was why my first instinct of like, how did this go so long without her knowing? You know what I'm saying? Because I would have, ain't no way, after the second month, I'd have been like, well, what are we paying for? You know what I'm saying? Like, so the fact that they were able to go this much time, I don't know if he was paying it from a personal account and she wasn't knowing. I don't know what the details of that are. I really didn't want to go down a rabbit hole too much more, because I told y'all several episodes ago, and I tell y'all all the time on my Instagram profile, I'm not spending too much time on stupid stuff this year. Okay? And when it started getting down to the bottom of some of that mess, like, people was asking her questions in the comments, and she was commenting back, and it was like, girl, all y'all stupid. Because for one, there's no way I'm gonna let you keep denying. Like, I guess he was coming around to spend time with the son or whatnot, but ain't no way in hell I'm gonna let you tell somebody you paying for a dog to be trained, and the connotation is that is associated with my child. Absolutely not. You're never putting my child and a fucking animal, let alone a dog, in the same conversation of this is what you're paying for care for. Because I take that, you know, maybe me and my traumatized blackness, I take that a little serious. Like, oh, I'm paying for a dog. No, this is your child you're paying for, sir.
Yeah, no, that's never okay. That's the first thing I actually thought about, is the fact that you were so comfortable with equating this child, or hiding the fact that this is actually a child, and willing to swap
as a mama, you
for a dog and say like, yeah, the kid's actually a dog. That's what my mind went to. Like,
yeah, and
why would you even want to associate your child with an animal, period? But people will do anything to have their cake and eat it too, to not get caught.
Well, not only that, let's be honest. He's not the only one complicit. The person I also hold responsible for all this is the mom of the son, because you are sitting here helping him actively hide hide this child that he had with you on the side from another woman. And so what really made me mad and stop engaging with the content was when somebody said, wow, that's so horrible of you. And she was like, I never said I was a girl's girl. I never said, because they were like, damn, they was like, you okay with just lying to this lady behind her back, like helping this guy perpetuate this whole lie, and it involves your child? And she was pretty much shutting people down, like, I never said I was a girl's girl. I never said I care about that kind of stuff. I care about my kid. Well, you don't care about your kid enough, because I would tell you, if I care about my kid and you care about your kid, you're going to acknowledge him as such and not as no fucking dog. If you care about your child that much, show us through your actions. You are allowing this man to treat you and your son second best, like a fucking animal and an animal trainer. That's what he's treating y'all like. And you okay with that?
So that is where my mind went to as well. Like, you can say, "Oh, I never said I was a girl's girl." Okay, that's your prerogative, whatever. But there's a child involved, and if you're telling us or you're telling these people that your main concern is your child, well, your actions are stating otherwise. Because you allowing this man to hide his child is really a disservice to the child in itself.
I don't
Because
care about y'all grown people. It's about that little boy.
it's about the kid, and no kid deserves to be hidden, point blank, period. If you laid down and you did what grown folks do and a child was made, you are responsible for that kid, and that's just what it is. But I mean, how many other people are living this life where there are secret lives of children being born and people don't know about it? We talked about that too. I'm not going to get into my own personal business, not me specifically, but
But
my
yeah.
family has some very interesting situations around this very topic that I still quite honestly don't understand and will never understand.
We talk
to
about
this
that
day.
all the time in different communities, how stuff like that is swept under the rug, or we sweep it this way and that way and make sure that nobody see it, blah blah blah. But it's one thing when it's one party doing all the sweeping, and maybe one or two other people that's like not directly connected to it, you know what I'm saying, i.e. they brother or somebody helping them keep it a secret. But when you are the mother of said child and you are also helping, you are setting a horrible example for your child. You doing and then for two, like, what are you, like, what kind of self-worth do you have that you like, oh, okay, well, I'm about to help you hide this from her, like you hid it from me? Because she said that she was, but kind of was not aware. It was kind of one of them things where when people kept asking her, like, well, did you know about the partner before? She was like, well, yeah, they were supposed to be off and on or whatever. So, okay, cool, I get it. You felt like you were justified in sleeping with a man when you did, whatever. But when you got pregnant and he decided to go back and be with that girl, because she made it seem like him and the other partner, the actual partner, were off and on, and they were kind of on a break. And that happens too. We heard the term, we hear it all the time, break babies, whatever. But at what point,
I don't care.
At what point when they got back together, were y'all gonna be two grown ass adults and sit this lady down and say, hey,
this happened
while we were on a break, while y'all were on a break, we did X, Y, and Z, and unfortunately we did it without protection, or whatever protection we had was failed, and now we have a son as a result of it, and this is the case. You know what I'm saying? Because
and that's my thing. Like, that's what leads me to believe that whole break baby situation is not true. Because as a grown adult, I just don't see what the problem is.
He got a sibling like right around the same age, like a few months older or younger.
With the other lady.
Yeah, with the actual partner.
Yeah, so that's a bunch of BS. Yeah, clocked her T. I just think that it's unfortunate for everybody involved. It's unfortunate for the child. It's unfortunate for the other woman, for the woman who is in a relationship with this man. And it's unfortunate for the man as well, because he obviously has issues there's a ton of issues here, right? But largely it's an issue of responsibility or lack thereof. It's an issue of respect. And also, I feel like an issue of control, because a lot of the times people get into these situations because they want to control the entire narrative. And sometimes women, like the other woman in this instance, are honestly scared of that man, of, retaliating or, lashing out, whatever he got set up to make her believe that there's going to be some type of consequence if the current girlfriend knows about this child. I truly believe that people be scared and they don't know how to navigate it, so they just rather be complacent and go along with it.
The vibe she gave me, the way she kept coming off in like subsequent posts, and the way she kept coming at people, which once again you can really, it's hard to tell because it's via text, it's behind a phone screen, but the way she was coming at people in the comments and the way she was kind of responding lets me know that a lot of the reason why she allowed this to happen was financial. It was all financial.
Yeah.
It was all,
she's getting her benefits. She didn't care.
In order to keep money in my pocket, because she said it, like, she's a struggling dog trainer or whatever she do in her real, whatever her title is, but they were able to finesse that into her getting an arrangement. And once again, I think that was a level of financial control on his part, and that was a level of financial desperation on her part, where it was, in order to keep this money flowing, I gotta go with whatever you put up with, or maybe that was her idea. Maybe that was him saying, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to pay you this money, because she gonna know. And she was like, oh, well, you could just pay it to my business because of such and such. We don't know whose idea it was, but long story short, both of y'all trashy ass humans.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
At the end of the day.
at the end of the day, this is what is really going on, and it's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. That's really all I could say about it. But I swear, it's making me think of my familial issues that, again, are not directly tied to me, but you know all about it. I won't share it on air. At least not now. Maybe someday. I want to jump into the sanctuary scoop. Do we have anything for the people before we log off on this good Sunday? This good snowy Sunday?
No, I don't have anything for the people. Just please take care of y'all business. Like, I can't say that enough.
Take care of business.
I hate to get to the end of the episode and always get so serious, but I just say that, like, just briefly, like, just the political climate that we in. Since we've been recording, I kind of got some news that I didn't really like from somebody that we both admire that we'll talk about off air. But I just got some crazy news from somebody, and we in a weird ass time, like, just in general. And I just feel like we all need to protect ourselves, be vigilant, stay your ass in the house if you got to. It's too cold. It's too much bullshit going on outside. Just please stay safe. Take care of your business. Have your affairs in order. I can't express that enough. We just never know what's going to happen. And as we always know, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Keep your stuff together. Have your documentation, your ID, your passport, whatever, everywhere you go. Things are getting really weird out here.
Man.
In a lot of ways. And I just want everybody to be as protected as we can be. So I just say all of that to say, stay in the house, stay out of the way. Listen to old episodes of The Soulful Stir if you got to. Share it with your friends. Watch us on YouTube. Stay safe. And that's a good way to do it. If you missed a few episodes, go back and check them out. That's what they're there for. If you're having a bad day and you're going through something, go listen to an episode to get you some laughs, to make you feel a little bit better. Because we understand that it's a lot going on right now. So be gentle with yourself. Get rest. Get peace.
Yes, and I'm just going to add on that part of being gentle with yourself and taking care of yourself and taking care of your business is practicing radical honesty full circle in your life. Be honest about what you're not going to tolerate, what you don't like, what you're not going to put up with, and also be intentional about rest. I know I'm being intentional about rest and getting that rest in when I can. It is just so important for us to take care of our nervous system right now because we are living in very interesting times. And, some of it is interesting in a good way, but a lot of it is interesting in a not so good way. So just be mindful of everything that you are taking in. But always know that the Soulful Stir is a safe place and a soft spot for you to land when you just want to come and hear us talk and have a good little kiki about whatever our topics are for the day. Come and listen and send us an email. Send us your confessions to thesoulfulstir@gmail.com. If you just got a comment or you want to talk to us, just got a general question that you want to share on air or want us to share on air rather, go ahead and send it to our email. Follow us on everything: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram at The Soulful Stir. We'll have a lot more coming for you guys in the following episodes, so just stay tuned. We appreciate y'all listening, and this has been another episode of The Soulful Stir.